Hello and welcome back to my channel for the first video of today where I'm actually in it. I hope you did enjoy this afternoon's video on the run to Wembley for Pompey. We're going to go a bit higher up now in terms of placement in England. We're going to the Premier League. We're doing predictions again. We do these every week. I think this one's going to be a bit later as well. Everything got pushed back after the EFL did try to copyright my video because of videos that weren't theirs, but I thought, you know what, I'll blur it out, and it did, and it's fine now. But we'll move on. Last week's scores on the doors. I got 9, Dad pulled it back with 8, and Lewis was lagging behind a bit on 5. Now we look at the table. I'm on 72 points in the lead by quite a distance. Lewis is still in second on 58 points, but Dad's now closed the gap to just 1 point with 57. It's getting closer between them two, but I seem to be pulling away. Can I continue it this week? We're going to start this week though with Newcastle, who host Aston Villa at St James's Park. Fun fact, it's not the only St James's Park in England. Exeter City also play at St James's Park, the team that Pompey knocked out of the EFL Trophy to reach the final. But this is a game between two sides at, not differing ends of the table necessarily, but they're playing a lot differently. Aston Villa saw a bright start to the season, get them first in the league. Newcastle have just slipped down and they're now within touching distance of the relegation zone. I think with results not going their way this weekend, they could slip into it. As a result, I think it's not going to be a game Newcastle can win, and if they do win it, they won't be winning it easily. I think Aston Villa will win the game. I think they'll win it 1-0. Dad thinks they'll win it 2-1, and so does Lewis. He thinks 2-1 as well, all to Aston Villa. Move on to the second game now though, between two traditional English clubs, two traditional big English clubs. Leeds versus Chelsea at Elland Road. Now, it's a big ground. They normally have big attendances for this game. Both sides staying in the Premier League. Chelsea, a bit of a resurgence under Thomas Tuchel. His men have fought back valiantly in the Champions League. They beat Atletico Madrid in the first leg. But equally, you cannot say, yes, well, that will carry over into the Premier League. However, it has. They've been doing phenomenally since he's taken over. Well, relatively phenomenally since he's taken over. He's got some players playing better than they were before. He's got the team playing how they should be. As a result, I think they will beat Leeds. Not easily, but I think they'll win 2-1. Dad has gone for a 2-2 draw, and Lewis has gone for a 3-1 Chelsea away win. Now we're looking at two sides, both in the bottom half of the table. It's Crystal Palace, who host West Bromwich Albion. Now Crystal Palace play their games at Selhurst Park, and they'll be looking for another 3 points here to keep them firmly away from the relegation zone. They don't want to get pulled into any sort of fight. They want to steer clear of it and make sure they're not having to look over their shoulders and be cautious. West Brom, on the other hand, are looking to get any points they can get. They've pulled it back fairly well in recent weeks. Think they're still second bottom of the table, but they'll be wanting to pull it back even more. They're trying to catch up with Fulham, who are also in good form, but those two sides both need points. I don't think West Brom will be able to grab any on Saturday though. I think Crystal Palace will beat them fairly comfortably. I think it'll be 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Dad has gone for a 2-1 West Brom away win. Lewis going straight down the middle for a 2-2 draw. Move on to the fourth game now, which sees Everton host Burnley at Goodison Park. Now Burnley, they've not been great this season, but I think they've now pulled it out a bit out of the bag, stopped themselves from getting in the relegation battle. Everton have done the opposite really. They've slipped down from where they were at the start. They led the table with 4 wins in 4 at the start. They're now sitting, I think, 6th in the table. As a result, Everton need a win to try and get back in the European mix. They want to be back in Europe for the first time in a while. I think they can do it if they keep playing the way they are. I think they'll beat Burnley. I think 3-1. Dad thinks 2-0 and Lewis thinks 3-1 as well, all to Everton. We move on now though to the game which sees the two sides furthest away from each other in the Premier League. That's Manchester City, who host Fulham. Sorry, they don't host Fulham, they travel to Craven Cottage, they travel to the home of Fulham. Now Fulham have enjoyed a couple of good results recently. Most notably a win away at the Premier League holders, Liverpool. Now, they'll be hoping to do it again, maybe get a point, but this Man City side have won 21 of their last 22 games. Their only loss coming in the last game out to Manchester United. Now that will definitely have disheartened them because United have won the derby. City a bit, oh no, what's happening again? But City will know they can still beat Fulham. Yes, they may be unnerved, but they've still got a ridiculous run of form. As a result, I think they'll win, but I think Fulham will put pressure on them. I think it will be Fulham 1, Manchester City 2. Dad has gone for a comfortable win for City, going 3-0. Lewis has gone for the same as me, 2-1 to Manchester City. We'll move on into the second half of fixtures now, though, as Southampton host fellow South Coast team, they're not really rivals, Brighton and Hove Albion. Now that's a game between two sides that are a bit more evenly matched now. I think if Brighton can get 3 points here, they can close the gap on Southampton quite significantly. I think Southampton are now they've lost 9 of their last 11 Premier League games, only winning 1 of them. They need to pull some form from somewhere. If they can win this game here, it'll lift them up a bit more and possibly just say, we're not coming down, we're not getting dragged with you. But if they lose, it'll be like, oh no, they'll be looking over their shoulders thinking, the other teams are coming. But I still think, Southampton aren't good enough. I think, yes, they'll want to win. I think they'll fight for it. But I think Brighton will nick the 3 points, only by a goal, but I think it'll be 1-0 to them. Dad has gone for a 2-1 Southampton win, and Lewis has gone 2-0, meaning I'm the only one that's predicted Southampton to lose. We'll move on now, though, to a side that they've not underwhelmed this season, but they've kind of just been there. Leicester, and they host Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United have just sacked Chris Wilder, apparently. I think it is pretty much confirmed that Chris Wilder is leaving the club. I think that's ridiculously late. I think it's a stupid decision because, they're down now anyway. If they're going to go down, they needed a manager that knew the club, a manager that got them out before. Chris Wilder's the man to do that, but he's gone. So they're going to be a bit disheartened. They're going to have a caretaker manager. But as you know in football, caretaker managers can sometimes pull out results out of nowhere. But I still don't think they'll be able to beat this Leicester side. I don't think they'll make it easy for Leicester. I think it will be a hard game for both sides. I think Leicester will run out winners, though, only by a goal to nil. Dad and Lewis have both said it'll be 2-0 to Leicester. We'll move on now, though, to Arsenal versus Tottenham in the North London derby. Now, this is a game between two sides that are probably more evenly matched now than ever. Tottenham are possibly now pulling ahead of Arsenal for the first time in a lot of years. But I think Arsenal will be up for this. Fresh off the back of a 3-1 away win at Olympiacos, they'll know what they need to do. They'll know they need points. Tottenham will know they need a win as well. They're off the back of another European win. I think it'll be a fairly even game. I'm going for a 3-3 draw. Dad has gone for a 2-1 Tottenham win and Lewis has gone for a 3-1 Tottenham win. I've gone different to them again. We move on to the penultimate game of the week now, which sees another two sides battling it out for European football. One of them's a bit more certain of it. That's Manchester United, who host West Ham United. Now, Manchester United are pretty much confirmed Champions League football next season, but they've still got work to do. You can't now sit in a season and go, yeah, we're here, we'll settle down. They want to chase the Premier League title to the last day if possible. West Ham, they're surprising everyone this season with how well they're doing. They're currently sat just outside in 5th position. They do hold a game in hand, though, I believe. They might have even played it and gone into 4th. I'm not fully sure. But I think they'll be able to beat United at Old Trafford. I generally think they will. I think it'll be 2-1. Dad has gone for a 1-1 draw, and Lewis has agreed with me thinking it'll be 2-1. None of us thinking Manchester United can get the 3 points. We look at the last game now, though, on Monday night, which sees Wolverhampton Wanderers host Liverpool at Molineux. Now, Liverpool are not doing well at the minute with 6 losses in a row at home. They've got the worst home record in England this calendar year. So I now think they might have to do stuff away as opposed to at home. This game is a game they won't be able to win easily. I don't think they'll be able to win it. I think Wolves will win. I think they'll win 1-0. Dad has gone for a 2-1 Liverpool win, as he always likes to back them. And Lewis has gone for 2-1 to Wolves. Now that is where this video ends. Thank you for watching until this point. Do like down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you for a Salford preview in the morning.